I'm looking forward to sharing with you this class and this course on how you can not only understand what anxiety is, but what you can do to release it, to set yourself free from its frustration and from its suffocation. So I'm going to dive into some things I've learned over the years. And anxiety has been such a huge part of my own experience growing up. When I was a little boy, I always felt different and was always comparing and competing with my brother and never feeling good enough, and all those kind of childhood feelings of our immature ego kind of swamped me in a deep level of anxiety. And actually, that's probably why one of the motivations for learning to meditate so early on. I took a course on meditation back in high school, and I think it was because I was just trying to cope with the stress of dealing with myself and being different and all those challenges of growing up. Then we're going to dive into a very, very popular topic, but also one that seems to be in its own pandemic in our world these days. Anxiety. Anxiety is something. It's a special kind of stress. It's a special state of mind. And today you're going to learn not only to understand its nature, but you're going to learn how to release it from its grip upon you. And I'll give you some techniques to do, but also to lay the foundation. I'm going to talk about the benefits of releasing anxiety and understanding what the damage it does, so that you can have a motivation for wanting to change it. And then also to learn how to move beyond it, and then how to, in a second part of today, not during this class, but if you want to join me in a few more hours, I'll be doing a meditation, which is another technique about releasing and confronting and dealing with anxiety. Understanding the benefits of understanding anxiety. See, one of the things that I find most people, as a collective, and I've been part of that collective, but since I've broken free of the patterns of the past, it all began by seeking to understand. And this course is on understanding and then releasing anxiety. It's not about, notice I didn't say understanding and eliminating or understanding and ending anxiety. There are certain things you can end, like guilt. You can end guilt. You can end worry. But anxiety is going to be a part of your life. And it's not about never experiencing it. It's about knowing what to do, because most people have never thought about it, and we're never taught what to do with anxiety. But today you're going to learn not only what the nature of anxiety is and the 9 common causes of it. 10 common causes. I threw in a bonus there. But you're going to discover 10 common causes of anxiety. And when you can begin to understand and understand the way you specifically do anxiety, physically, body, mind, and soul and spirit. Body, mind, and spirit. When you know how anxiety influences you, and you can be conscious of when it starts to surface, you can then break the patterns. You can then release the energy in a very productive way, rather than letting it run its course, not unlike a pressure cooker, that builds up pressure, and then all of a sudden the anxiety explodes or erupts into some kind of major crisis, whether it's health or mental wellness or some kind of crisis in your life. So understanding it is so important, because anxiety is a byproduct of fear. It's a byproduct of anger, it's a byproduct of pity, and it's a byproduct of hurt. But not just any hurt, not just any anger, not just any pity, not just any fear, but all of the fear, anger, pity, and hurt that you've harbored, that you have repressed, that you have depressed, and you have shoved down, creates anxiety. And so fear and all the emotions thrive. The negative ego, the immature ego, thrives on ignorance, to ignore. Michaiel, I don't want to think about my anxiety. I'll just let it run my life and slowly wear down and slowly inhibit and create such dissonance in my life. Instead of saying, you know what, I'm going to seek to understand it, because it's through understanding that you can take your power back. It's through understanding that you can raise your consciousness. It's through understanding that you begin the process of releasing the anxiety. Because a lot of anxiety is built on the unknown, right? And let's face it, our whole world with this pandemic, the last year and a half, has been into the unknown. Like not knowing what's going to happen. When am I going to go back to work? When is this going to change? Am I going to still have my job? Or is this going to, all the different things that the unknown can produce. Well, that's what fosters, one of the things that fosters anxiety. So anxiety is something that has become paramount. It has become pandemic in our world. And more specifically, when you can understand your relationship to anxiety and how you do it and what it causes it, you can begin to not only understand it, but to release it from your consciousness and free up your life force energy. You can free up the clarity to make clear and wise, trustworthy decisions. It is one of the benefits of understanding and then releasing anxiety is you can transmute the energy, hear that, the energy of your anxiety. You can transmute it and use it to be more productive, to be more creative, to be more connected, and to feel a sense of empowerment. Because anxiety erodes your feeling of being enough. It erodes your state of power and empowerment. It alienates you from your connection with God. God is all that is. With your connection to the divine. It alienates, it separates. Not that you are separated from, but it's like this energy that blocks, impedes, interferes. It's like static. And I can't quite hear very well in my meditations. Yes, Michaiel, I understand you said to go into meditation and open up to receive healing, to receive directions from your soul and your higher self. But every time I do, I don't get anything. It's just all this anxiety's in the way. It keeps your meditations as just a breathing technique. Rather than allowing the meditation to become alive with the magic and the miracles and the synchronicities where imagination imagines itself. It allows when you can move beyond and understand and release anxiety. It can free you to feel the depth of your being. Well, what's so big about that, Michaiel? What's so big about feeling the depth of your being? Well, your being on the surface of your being of your consciousness. On the surface, what floats on the surface is the sludge. It's the unresolved emotions, it's the unresolved hurt, it's the disappointments, it's the conditioning from your society, from your upbringing, from whoever, the conditioning from our childhood to try to be the adaptive child. All of that's on the surface of your being, that you've learned, that you've acquired. It's not who you are. And as you go deeper, into yourself, and as you lift the anxiety, as you move deeper into the core and the essence of your being, well, what's down there is your passion. It is your compassion. It is the appreciation for living life rich and full with aliveness and vitality, with a sense of dignity, human dignity, where you are proud of your uniqueness. You are proud. What was once a liability of being different is now an asset of making a difference. As you allow yourself to go into the depth of your being, what you discover there is your purpose, your destination, your destiny. Not your ego's destiny, which you've already figured out, but the destination of your soul, the destiny of your purpose, your empowered destiny, as I like to call it. That's at the depth of your being. Your motivation for change, your motivation to grow, to become all that you are, is found in the depth of your very beingness. Because at the depth of your being is your soul and your spirit. But on top of the consciousness is the sludge that you got to clear out. And so much of that sludge produces anxiety. So today you're going to not only become aware of anxiety, and you're going to understand it, but you're going to start to know it and live it and breathe it. Not the anxiety, but the awareness so that you can change your relationship and take your power back from anxiety. So no longer is anxiety driving you forward, which is often called running anxiety. You know, there's people that constantly can't stop. They just got to constantly be doing something. They're always fidgeting. They can't slow down. I don't know how they sleep at night, but they usually don't. That's part of what anxiety produces is insomnia. But when you can allow yourself to explore and understand and then learn to release anxiety, the benefits are unbelievable. The benefits are you feel at home and connected to your sense of power, your sense of purpose, your sense of passion, and your sense of fulfillment. When you can connect and understand and then release the warehouse you might have collected of anxiety, or the baggage that you've been dragging around, the vestiges of the past, when you can clear that out, you can make more trustworthy decisions. You can see things more clearly. You can discern and evaluate and make wise choices and decisions about you and your future. You can start to dream and see the potential of all that is possible for you. When you can clear and understand and release anxiety, you feel a deep sense of contentment and peace. To finally accept yourself and be at peace with who you are is what can happen as you move beyond the anxiety and learn to take your power back. Instead of being at its sufferance, always holding your breath, wondering when it's going to emerge, when you understand what causes it, which you're going to learn shortly, and understand how you do it, you can begin to not only understand it, but to dismantle the pattern in the subconscious mind, the pattern that has held you imprisoned by this so common word, anxiety.